afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting propaganda cast from me, host Imperial Dane, master propaganda hero, psych, defender of the fatherland. We're off here to a 1 vs 1 on Samosky. Yes, indeed, we're getting a lot of Samosky matches as of late, but it's what happens. Sometimes you just sort of get all the good matches there, at least the ones that catch by coincidence, and there you go. So it's like, out of this, we get a not very good match. So, make up, choose. And it's got here in the South Laser End fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth here with the 52nd Infantry Division, with special weapons, Royal Engineer Vanguard with triple infantry. Versus the north, you got Sniper here fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 15th Panzergrenadier Division. We got here Lightning War, Mobile Defense, and Mechanized Assault with triple infantry as well. Also note both players are from Korea, and I believe they're reasonably high ranked. I can't quite remember where. Triple section start there for Laser N. Grenadier MD42 here for Sniper. Quickly rushing for the center there, but also sending troops here towards the eastern half there, obviously to secure the southern fuel point. But one section there moving ahead sturdily for King and Country, with MD42 gunners moving down the center here. Looks like Sniper might be falling into that classic Samosky trap of just over-focusing on this part of the map. We'll have to see, though, of course, is what ends up with. I mean, it could look like it, but that doesn't mean, it actually does end up with it. But Grenadiers just scouting here, MD4 securing Chater, following up there. Southern fuel point there being secured, and Pioneers moving up towards the point here with more Grenadiers from the way for Sniper. So far here in the early game, no real sort of anything's happening. Just silence, quiet, and people staring at each other. Section sending out there for later in the south point secured. Noting he's actually shifting the MD42 towards here. Interesting enough, most players just stuff it up here, but Sniper is relegating his machine gun to a more interesting position. Hard to say why. We also got trenches down the south here by Laser N here on his fuel point to help defend it versus any raiders and harassers. More Grenadiers moving towards the center. Grenadiers holding up here, so Sniper sort of trying to wait off. He knows there's a section there, but he doesn't want to really deal with it. At least not without a better fighting position to fight from. More Grenadiers were there for Sniper. Could have gone for more to help deal with the section and the house, but looks like that is not what Sniper wants. Grenadiers for a section, bit of a shoot off, but then pulls back. I mean, overall he would have lost it since they would still have the garrison bonus. So I think he's just shifting away here towards moving over in the west there. So in this regard, Sniper, I think, is handling this pretty tactically sound. I mean, he's trying to avoid getting bogged down in pointless fighting. He cannot win. I mean, as Rommel said, if you stand nothing, to gain from fighting, why fight? And that's basically sort of here. I mean, he just wouldn't really gain much from the fighting there. It just bleed out. Third Grenadier Squad there, Universal Care on the way for Laser End. Section there versus the MD42. So there we go, that's paying off. Pretty much preventing Laser End from moving about here. And there you go, taking heavy bursts of fire from inside the house. 1200 rounds per minute. For some reason, they keep firing away at the house. That's interesting. This time they seem to be slightly realizing. Jürgen, I don't think they're in the house anymore. Yeah, they're out there, The guys with the funny helmets. Is there getting the section so far. Sniper's actually handling this pretty well for Samosky. I mean, again, most players would just sort of get completely bogged down, but Sniper is actually not getting bogged down amazingly enough. He's actually avoiding getting bogged down for now. I mean, of course, as I say this, I could very well just trigger some kind of curse that makes him bogged down there, like, compels him. We'll have to see here. But now with MD42 up support here, dealing with the section there. Although it's still going to take him some time. I mean, in essence, he's still getting bogged down. For some reason, the MD42 refuses to shoot. I'm guessing the gunner has some issues. Maybe too much schnapps. There you go. Panzer 5 pushes back the Universal Care. The Grenadiers are in a poor condition. You can heal them up here using the field first aid kit for a bit of extra frontline presence, but that's about it. Fourth Grenadier Squad there for Sniper. Likely to indicate a tier 3 rush here from him. So we'll have, of course, have to see if he can actually pull off that rush. Again, that is where a lot of players tend to, stumble pretty hard and break their nose. As for Laser End, we got take up there, we got Sabers out to help deal with the Universal Care, quickly fixed up. Here you go for the Vickers K, we could aim for a flamethrower upgrade there. Could aim for the flamethrower upgrade. Grenadiers fire to the house there, got a quick kill there on the section. Paul Lawrence dropped like a sack of potatoes. Nothing further going on there in his base. Again, could be tier 3 rush. Though again, if he could, he should probably just quickly get to the next stage as fast as possible. I mean, again, the faster you can actually pull it off, the better. Up north, the Pioneers fighting it out as well. Sappers pursuing with the Sten guns. And we got Universal Cannon. There he goes and going for the Wasp Pits, trying to gain control of the centre, make it harder for Sniper to fight in the centre, since, well, the Flamethrower basically pretty much turn any garrison and heavy cover into a pretty bad place to be. And of course, since that is pretty much all of Samoski Centre, it pretty much means Samoski Centre becomes a very bad place for Sniper to be. So Laser Ren is basically unleashing his inner Pyromaniac on Sniper's forces, as basically again the entire centre becomes just one big fulminating playground. But of course, he needs to be careful not to light his own men on fire as well. Oh dear, looks like I lit one of you chaps on fire. My apologies. I used to be a pyromaniac, you know. Nothing personal, just a bit too eager. There's a bit of trouble though. A lot of fire, a lot of death. Troops pushing south as ever. They're going to use up here. Medic bunker up. And he is going for the to make a nice company. So there was not a tier 3 rush here from Sniper, also known as Vasto. So just a heavy tier 1, possibly to counter sort of British heavy tier 1. Hard to say that exactly the reasoning for this. Normally, again, though, full Grenadiers MD42 is very much an indicator of a tier 3 rush. Of course, this could be something Sniper's trying to actually utilize against later, and you make him think, alright, this chap's, you know, going for the Panthers fast, and then he pulls a fast one and actually doesn't go for it. In fact, he's going for a half tech here. Could be a flame for a half tech, could be a regular one. We'll have to see what Sniper ends up with. But there we go, he's harassing in the south. Good work there again, displaying that he does not, you know, fall into full Stalingrad mode on the centre of the map. Then he just gets bogged down in fruitless fighting that just grinds his forces down. He's actually, you know, keeping attention there to the resources and hits them, you know, with dagger-like precision. So that's pretty good there. Section moving up there. Noting by the way, either player's yet to choose a doctrine as the other one. Rav grenades. Gets 2 chaps there. Quite dead. Jeremy and Lawrence entombed within the trench. Harassing the northern section trench there. Good work. Oh, not trench, but fuel point. Good work there. We can see Laser Ren is also displaying some good tactical aptitude versus his opponent. Sniper, though, his half-tech is not going to be able to deal with the Universal Carrier right away, though. That's for sure. He will not be able to deal with it right away. But, I mean, it will help him sort of with the frontline press, and that is actually what he's aiming for, which isn't too bad. The Grenadiers, though, are getting quite a tan, and they probably need some healing. Problem is, he doesn't have any veteran one troops, even those, you know, around to heal them up. Though, of course, it's not too far off there. Mine's going up, 6 pounder go up there. Base sort of helps cover the flank of it. Very good. Grenadiers playing up for the south, also very good. Sehr good. Could actually catch the anti-tank off guard. They're leaving things pretty precarious, but there you go. 6 pounder gun, anti penetrate. Then the half chain actually going in for the flamethrower upgrade, but pretty close. They're pretty close. More infantry moving up. People taking damage, taking losses. The Grenadiers again immediately lost 2 there to the fires themselves. They do have veterans 1 now, but it's not quite working out. At the same time, he lost his machine gun to the fires because he wasn't paying attention. He got the anti-tank gun, but this is quickly turning a bit horrid for Sniper here. Quickly turning actually quite horrid. He's almost running away there. The Vic is forcing that away. Sappers standing around. Northern viewpoint lost. Section go back to dig into the trench. Pioneers moving in. Oh dear, need to shoot this Grenadiers. Probably need to pull back the flame for a half tech. So that was a rather weird engagement for both sides, but I think ending up more costly here for Sniper, as now he risks losing his machine gun to the enemy. So that did not go very well. He's almost got the flame. Universal Cannon. Apparently that can actually be damaged by the flamethrowers. Well, there you go, I guess. At least it looks like it. But there you go. Jurgen appears from behind the house with the Panzerfaust, leaves it on fire. So that is a small victory there for Sniper. Kit troops reinforcing healing. No further sign of tech up, nothing further either. If you can secure the anti-tank, then that would certainly help him out. That would just spare him the resources. Have to go for that one. As for Laser Ren, a bit of both sides, floating some manpower, but it's not really catastrophic, but it is noticeable. And it's only either player I think would benefit for actually expending their manpower on something. Got the Vics moving up the street to the Grenadiers inside the house. Up north here, half being repaired while they're grabbing the fuel point back for Germany, the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. And that gun is called hard to tell. We got Doctor Note. It is special weapons for Lazy Ren, calling in a tank hunter section with their boys anti-tank rifle. I'm reasonably sure they wouldn't have used that at this point of the war, as it would not have been very effective. I mean, it was overall not even very effective when it was introduced, I believe. So you know. Grenadiers, machine gun there, recruit. Good work for sniper. There you go, the Flampanzerwagen strikes at the machine gun there and completely incinerates it in a matter of seconds. Sabs their forced retreat right past the Flampanzerwagen there, certainly a chance they were wiped. Cancel the armoured car though. Now he goes forward to get not actually marked district precision, they just thought he was going for it. He's actually now going for an armoured car, then at least he didn't. So you might want to be careful with those grenadiers. They kind of look like they might, you know, burst into flames as well. There you go, makes away with a 6-pounder gun there. Now it is part of the German arsenal. It is now a pack of Panzer Abwehrkanone. Yes, that was an abbreviation for. A bit like how Flak is an abbreviation for Flugzeug Abwehrkanone. But of course, to now everybody's just known as Flak. Second charge force in the MD-42. And to tank and almost making it. Tank comes taking after it. Need to be a bit careful there. They're already down to low health. When the flamethrower after can do a lot of damage very rapidly if you're not careful. There you go, trying to pop an anti-tank grenade, but there you go, they're just dying. Oh, they're going to be wiped. They're going to be wiped. You forgot about the info to just didn't care either way. You might have just getting too over-focused on the flamethrower half-track, losing sight of, you know, everything the flamethrower half-track does and what was supporting, costing the anti-tank section. That was quite costly there for Lazy Ren. I mean, that's just 300 manpower gone. Obviously, he's got a bit of manpower floating now. Sniper's also floating a bit there. What's with players recently just floating? It's apparently just become meta to float your manpower. It's not something I necessarily recommend. There you go, resource being spent there by Sniper. He can build caches if he wants to. He could tech up. I mean, he could do a lot of things that he's calling, you know, assault grenadiers. But there you go, armored car there, causing some damage to Sniper, threatening him there. 6-pounder gun also there, potentially reclaimed. Though Lazy Ren has now suffered a lot of losses. And again, that's sort of the, you know, thing about floating too much, you know. It just means you don't have enough troops on the front line and you can all of a sudden you find yourself falling behind because, you know, your troops which would have been better supported are not, they get murdered, and then you sort of have to spend the manpower anyway just to get some kind of parity. So as a rule of thumb, I just don't recommend floating. And for Sniper, though, he's kind of doing well again. The flamethrower half tech rather did a lot for him. He just had so much manpower damage he can do with it, and in that regard, that's why the flamethrower half tech is so popular. You know, it basically is what the T-78, you know, for the Soviets and so on. They could just, you know, do a lot of damage if it's not contested and dealt with. Of course, it is easy to deal with. In some ways, it's more expensive than the T-70, but at the same time, I mean, you know, if it is just, you know, held back, it'll just do a ton of damage. That's basically what happened here. And of course, that's allowed Sniper to assemble a lot of manpower, but he should be doing something with it. He should be doing something with it. He's doing well, you know. Just floating that much manpower is not exactly encourageable. So again, caches, bunkers, get out something besides, you know, floating 1100 manpower almost. There you go, the is taking up, that is good. And there we go, we got a mortar on the way for Sniper. And the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. Armored car's going to need some repairs. He's probably going to seek out the sappers to fix that. We've also got Pioneers for Sniper and the 15th, probably to help build up stuff at the front line. Because spearheading or supporting a counterattack into the west. One thing later also could have done when he actually had most of the map, there could have been, you know, mining across little spots here. I think that was a waste of opportunities. At least mining down there. Armored car running the AC Mark III. And there we go. And later in taking up, going to go for armor. That is definitely, I think, a very sound decision. Large S-man field there by Sniper. Very good, very good. That'll definitely make it hard here for later in to just pop up there. Very, very good decision there. Solid choice. Machine gun crime in the center. Bit exposed. I mean, there's potential if you could just creep up and clear it out with something there. Also on health, so not really the best position there. Goes back to upgrade his tank hunter section with coordinated fire ability there. So yeah, he's going to call in artillery on the church, clear out the machine gun. Of course, the question is, does Sniper realise it's happening? Otherwise, he's going to be in for a bit of a nasty surprise from the machine gun. Mortar there supporting the troops, and there you go. He sees the red flare and just gets the devil out of there before the 25-pounder guns turn it into, well, sawdust. But there you go, harassing up north. They're good. They're good there by Lacerin. Snowball's now floating critically a lot less fuel. Also very good. Though still, he could go for bunkers or caches there. Small push up here. Sappers with a armored car. Now he does have minesweepers up because obviously he doesn't want to counter any other mines. When your opponent lays down one mine, there'll likely be more. Switching over the anti-tank there to support and counter the armored car there. Very good. Westwards anti-tank 6 moving up there. Playing some more S-mines or Sprengminen. Need to pull back the armored car there. Pop smoke and disengage. Or not. But there you go. First to get a Panzer here is Sniper. With a Panzerkampfwagen 4. Later in though, it's not going to be far off with the Cromwell. Of course, the question is if Sniper would not have been better off actually going for Stug first. But again, he feels like he's sufficiently far ahead, which you can't really imagine considering the ability in Later also to harass him. I mean, you know, Stug would be the better choice because the Panzer IV generally doesn't perform well versus the Cromwell. So generally just want a Stug because it just fights the Cromwell better and it does so cost efficiently.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
There you go, Cromwell away for Lacerin and the 52nd Infantry Division. Panzer IV arrives here for Sniper and the 15th Panzer Grenadiere. The 15th Panzer Division, I believe, actually absorbed elements of a disbanded Panzer Brigade, which actually gave access to some half-tracks and, well, some armour as well. Fun fact. Gunners are suppressed. Cromwell halfway done. He needs to get the armored car fixed up again. And hitting the southern victory pawn. There's now again giving up pressure again. What I'd like about this fight is, I mean, neither side is really getting just absolutely bogged down over this thing. Like, they're just not losing it there. And that's really nice to see. You can just know mindless grinding going on. Section of the trench there, but with a Panzer IV firing away at it, that's not going to last long. Good lord, they've got a tank! Panzer, Jerry. Panzer. I don't care what it is, it's shooting at us!
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Falling back with the Vickers. Cromwell out there for later. Really be getting here the commander's bits there. And just falling back there, so they're not in a condition to take resist a counterattack from the British. Troops moving up. He knows there's a Panzer IV in that direction, so I'm not entirely what's going on. I'm guessing he might just not have realised what's going on, but there you go. Cromwell armoured car going in and out. We can see here that Sniper's likely going to get punished unless he gets a bit lucky. Armoured car Cromwell rolling ahead, quickly switching over to just shooting only at vehicles. And get off. Nah, he doesn't have the veteran before it, but there you go. Going straight for the armoured car. Panzerfaust lands here on the Cromwell. Shots bouncing from all sides so far. 6-pounder gun, the lands a good hit on the AC, but there you go. Panzer IV down to almost half health there. 6-pounder gun landing some more hits. Panzer IV almost knocked out here. Almost got it, almost got it. Need to be careful though. There you go. Going to go for deep flank. He's going to go for deep flank. Getting old behind here. Using the speed of the Cromwell type maneuver. Sniper's not moving his anti-tank and he doesn't expect this. He's not moving the Panzer IV either. And there you go. Re-exposed. Can he get the hit in before the Panzer IV does? And oh, shot bounced. He gets the Panzer IV. Panzer IV also covers the escape of the Cromwell as he can't see past the black smoke belching forth from the ruinous wreck. Needs to get the armoured car out of there though, but that was pretty sharp there by Lacerin, leaving Sniper's Panzer IV on fire and leaving him one tank short. And now with the armoured advantage in Lacerin's ball court. Also building fuel caches, good. Got out the armoured car there. He probably should have, taken a longer path around to at least clear out the anti-tank gun first. When is the current got artillery called in as well to clear out it? It's activating reasonable use of their coordinated fire. Good to see. And they just get out there. Schnell! We need to get out of there before it collapses. In the south here, section pushed back there by the MD-42. Low on health and numbers. And Vic is caught here by the Pioneer Squad. That just needs to retreat though. That's not going to last. There you go. Lacerin realises he's about to hand over a machine gun to his opponent. He's not particularly keen on that. Sniper also learning from a mistake. Then he's now going for the Stug. Probably also because that's what he's got resources for. It's definitely the right choice there. He could also go for a Panzer Grenadier squad. He should also choose a option though. I mean, now the players there. Also, now we got cash for Lacerin as well. So both players active on fuel caches. Good. Excellent. Sehr good.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Trench down there. Cash almost done for Laseren. Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G arriving there for Sniper and the 15th Panzergrenadier-Division, which would have been part of the division organically, would have been part of the Panzerabteilung that was part of the Panzergrenadier-Division. Panzergrenadier-Division's Panzerabteilungs, which were part, from back when all of a sudden they just decided most of the motorized units, including the motorized infantry, where to receive like, a Panzer battalion. Of course, after Stalingrad, they had to make things, work actually, so they were sort of replaced with Stugs in the Panzergrenadier Abteilungs or divisions there, as a fun fact. Well, commonly though, there would have been Stug 4s that they were utilised as well, fun fact. As they're moving ahead with a lot of light machines then getting the section they hold up behind the wreckage of the armoured car. Cromwell moving ahead though for King Country, can soon go for another Cromwell there. That would not, I think, be a bad idea there for Laseren. Sniper that really needs to choose a doctrine here. Stug supported by the anti-tanker, but no real infantry cover. It's risky up here, going to push back with the Cromwell, a lot of infantry. More troops running out there for Laseren. There you go. That's a good hit, but there you go. Stug strikes. There you go, another hit, then the Cromwell, and Stug landing just several hits there, very good. Trying to force a hit there, but needs to be careful with this tank kind of section. I mean, it's out in the open here. Thankfully, those snipers not added a machine gun there, which could make things slightly more difficult for the section there. Oh dear. Need to retreat those tank hunters. Needs to get that Cromwell fixed up. We got another Cromwell on the way there for Laseren and the 52nd Infantry. We got troops sneaking about. He looks like he's going to go for a flank, go for the mortar. Maybe he can catch an anti-tank. In fact, we got a second anti-tank and for Sniper. Not bad, not bad. I mean, he's clearly expecting a lot more armor, and so trashing to leverage it with more anti-tanks that would protect him. Plus, he's going for another Stug here. So Sniper is clearly just aware he's going to be on the back end and can somehow knock out enough tanks to go on the offensive. So he's just basically just preparing for an armored onslaught of Cromwells. It's definitely, I think, a very sensible approach there by Sniper.
Coordinated direct and indirect fire is ready to hit the target.
Laser securing the centre. Grenadier moving forwards for Germany. Deutschland. No, he cancels the Stug. Is he planning a Panzer IV? Is he planning a heavy Panzer Corps? Or might he try and aim for a Tiger? Though in which case he's going to choose a bloody doctrine. Sniper, choose a bloody doctrine. Cromwell being fixed up. Second Cromwell arriving. So what is Sniper planning here? Panzer IV. Panzerkampfwagen 4 number 2. Cromwell advancing, shoots, and does not particularly spectacularly hit. Second shot that lands well. Stug anti-tank there to cover against any direct assault from the Cromwell on the machine gun. There you go, first shot there hits, penetrates the armour of the Cromwell tank. Quickly pushing that one away. Looks like he's going to plant a flank here with the Cromwell, try and get behind his opponent. Not a bad idea, though he needs proficient support to pull it off. I like this, I like this. Running in here from several sides, section supporting. Stug in a bit of a tricky situation. He might lose one Cromwell there though. Then again, oh dear, this is pretty bad there for Sniper. He got swarmed here, but the Cromwell's not enough infantry support there. No Panzerfaust ability, so that way cover up against the Cromwell, trying to slow them down. And there it goes, getting on. But there you go, one Pak 40 moving up there. Exposed it, got past the infantry screen of Laseren to land a hit on one of the Cromwells. But he loses it. Yeah, that's going to be pretty bad. Plus the other anti-tank goes down. He might even lose the machine gun here. We got the Panzer IV, the rolling head. Laseren's going to have to quickly see if he can't recruit one of the anti-tank guns to turn it against it. But there you go, machine gun's got a big push there from infantry, preventing him from going for the anti-tank gun. His infantry's in a pretty bad state here. Panzer IV taking hit from the Cromwell. Anti-tank section moving up. Oh dear. Let's turn the Cromwell, and he gets the Panzer IV. Recruit the Pak 40 as well. There we got Gunners. We won't be able to save the Pak 4. That's going to lose the men on it. I think he might even spend an entire section to grab it. A loss of troops retreating the other way, though that was a bit risky by Laseren, but he gets away with it. He knocks out another Panzer IV, gets the Stug there as well. Didn't get the machine gun though, but he certainly, I think, delivered quite a critical blow there to Sniper, demolishing his armoured force again, but Laser End did suffer infantry-wise, so it's a pretty brutal trade-off between the two.
We're losing a capture point.
And it does leave Sniper here with troops commanding the front line, so a bit limited. Also, the machine gun there was forgotten. Another stroke for Sniper. Still no doctrine for him though. Still no doctrine. I am definitely not a fan of that. Definitely not a fan of that. But at least they're both, you know, stop floating. At least they got that one through. But again, continued harassment here. He's trying to make it harder for his opponent to get too much ahead of them. That is definitely not bad. They need to get that Cromwell fixed up fast. And he's also boasting his sections. Not a bad choice at this point. Would certainly help him survive and also just get more firepower out. Though I think we'd also benefit from at this point would be weapon racks and Bren guns. That way, you know, take on the Grenadiers a bit more equally. Because right now he's got a lot of light machine Grenadiers and Laser End does not. So that rather means, you know, again, the Grenadiers do have the advantage, particularly with a bit of veterans in a good position. The British infantry will struggle quite a bit. But, oh, looks like he won't need to. He's going for the half-track. Instead, just go for Vickers case. That'll certainly also do the trick.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
There you go. Forgot about the machine gun. Hold it up. After I got there for Lazy Wren. That doesn't get to do too much. Sniper securing the centre, but he's struggling a bit with the fuel points. Another trench here to protect against the victory point against any German attacks or minor attempts to get it. So what's Laser Wren going to go for next? I mean, he's just expended fuel on the half track. And of course, he's got eventually to Cromwell. But of course, the boating of section. There you go. It looks like some Vickers K's out for the infantry to help deal with those Jerrys. The sappers running, pursued by a lot of angry Germans. Machine gun set up there. That's probably the Vickers water-cooled machine gun there to cover that. And there you go, another harassment attempt in the south. Good work by Sniper. So we got. Looks like he's double machine gunning there that section. And now Laser Wren is not committing to a frontal assault against here. Instead, he seems, you know, trying to send everything through here, and then it looks like. I'm guessing he's either going to take the path through here, or he's going to take a deeper swing and this would get through here, possibly covering the retreat path there, catching some German infantry units trying to defend the village in a very bad spot. That's definitely an interesting approach there. But at the same time deploying a smaller force here, but that's going to straight into the machine gun there, preventing that from gaining any progress. So that was pretty much halted on the spot. You can see the troops being moved down to block any immediate advantage for the southern half, at least slow down Laser Wren, prevent him from making too much damage there, and also give him time to move the rest of his forces in position to actually block it as he tries to enter the village from the east then. But so far, there's the raging Cromwell. The Grenadiers are a bit lackluster. But there you go. We got the Stuke rolling ahead, more infantry arriving to support. And the problem is for Laser Wren, there's not enough infantry to support for him to support the Cromwell there. We also got Panzerjägers out there to further help us the armour. There's the section start the trench. Need to pull back the Cromwell for repairs. Need to get this force over there to support now. Ah, Cromwell about to go down. Get it out of there. Get it out of the Laser Wren. Shh, not biscuits. Section force out of the trench there. As he's forced to retreat. And now we got a sudden change here. We got a mortar to go up there to basically just cover the centre of the map now versus Sniper there. Force him out of the positions. That's definitely an approach there. That is definitely an approach. Vickers setting up on its own. Pretty risky. In particular, out of cover there. If there's enough Grenadiers with light machine guns to have a chance of just taking on head on. But looks like that's not quite the case. We've got the tank house section. This one there we go. That whole Sniper's forces there. So there's actually a small chance you can actually continue the breakthrough now, because now most of the infantry's been sent away by the Vickers. They could have that out faster than the house. And the Stuke, with that machine gun, certainly has no chance at all. I mean, even with a machine gun, it's not going to do much without an infantry force to support with it. Cromwell being fixed up, trying to push up against mortar firing down the machine gun there. 3-inch mortars trying to silence that crap machine gun nest. And with some success there. Sniper yet to choose a doctrine. Come on, man. No reason not to.
We're losing a capture point.
More Vickers K's out. Looks like it's going to shift up. Again, instead of trying to attack now, because again now Sniper's bringing up all of his forces to defend against an attack from here. Obviously, now is the perfect time to attack for us again. Later in displaying some good ability to just, shift the weight of his attack, quickly, hitting then more exposed areas. Thankfully for him also, Sniper has not been doing a lot of mining, otherwise that could be pretty risky. Like if the Crom moves out, that gets hit by Telemann right in front of the Pack 40. On the other hand, right now this is very open country, though he doesn't seem to realise how open it is. If he just gets up, he could just basically link a path to the northern fuel point. Also outmaneuver the anti-tank gun, maybe wipe it and then get the machine gun side of the house there. They keep forgetting there's a machine gun in there, but looks like they go to the Pack 40 corner bad spot, and go straight for the machine gun next. And there we go, we can see that Sniper is now forced again to react to a sudden onslaught on the western side because the defences here were now tweaked. There's also like, oh, he's popping the machine gun round, so means he's not going to be able to get out the machine gun in time, and loses the machine gun crew. Stuke ruling in. Yarbio ruling in for Deutschland. He's going to probably try and get the Pack 40 to further deal with German armour. Sniper there getting a bit lazy. He needs to choose a doctrine. I mean, honestly, the guys, called Lazy Ren has been pretty active compared to Sniper several times. He used to feel like slacking off in terms of, doctrine and resources. Another Crom on the way there for Lazy Ren. There you go, big push there. 2 Stugs. But again, as opponent does have the anti-tank, he's got the half-trick to reinforce immediately with. Very good. Small skirmishing here. Later when they're keeping up pressure now, you can see the sort of more forces are arriving to the scene here. Snipers are reacting. But how's that going to work? There you go. Cromwell could take care of the machine gun there. Because he pops over to anti-vehicle duties there, but he doesn't know where the tanks are, so it's not Cromwell. But there you go. Grenadiers could be crushed with the Cromwell. They're getting rather close to the church with no way to escape there. Anti-tank needs to get support here. There you go. All Grenadiers on the run. Stuke taking several hits from the Stuke. 6-pounder gun moving up. Virtually free on the Cromwell tank. Needs to get it fixed up as fast as possible. Vickers K6, the rest of the Panzers, then he's out in the open. Needs to get into behind the truck, then instead in front of the armoured car wreckage. 6-pounder gun up there, lands a good hit on the Stuke. Some pretty tense fighting there. Cromwell escapes, other Cromwell coming up to support. He's actually moving up to support the eastern push, not the western push here. Try to reinforce at the front, needs to keep a bit further close there. Grenade off, Panzers there almost brought up by mortar fire. Stuke going ahead here. Complete collapse of the western assault. Need to move the Cromwell further back into base. The other one, I think, being back there to support the western there to at least prevent it from collapsing. As we can see, there goes shining back the Pack 40 to deal with Stuke, but the gun is flanking in. Sniper still yet to choose a doctrine. Come on, Sniper, make up your mind. You silly git. We need to treat those Grenadiers. When he got there into a tank gun, the Stukes are rolling ahead. Ah, what are you doing, Lazy Ren? Then again, what is Sniper doing? He's heading into heavily damaged Stuks. Oh, Gott im Himmel. He's going for another Stuke. Sniper, though, is yet to choose a doctrine. And he's now also lost most of his forces to Lazy Ren. What the devil is he thinking? Now, well played though by Lazy Ren. I mean, Sniper was looking pretty strong there, but again, he just A, doesn't choose a doctrine, and B, again, he just sort of tends to handle his counterattacks pretty awkwardly. He just rushes in the Stuke, and if support, then infantry when those Stukes support. I mean, he doesn't quite seem to handle the counterattacks very well. Sort of seems to botch them up, but that move was just sending in 2 heavily damaged Stukes. That served no purpose. That served no purpose for Sniper. Still some nice use there of the Cromwells by Lazy Ren. Risky, but nice. So that is the umpteenth Stuke there for Sniper. Actually, we can check here, imagine. Check. There we go. There's his 4th Stuke. With another one on the way. At least he's got that right, but he needs to preserve them better, and now needs more infantry, and he also needs to choose a doctrine. Again, he's like almost 40 minutes into the game, and there's yet been anything there. I mean, he's not out of the game clearly, but He's barely holding on here, I would say. He's barely holding on. I mean, now his opponent's force is much, much larger in many ways. Gun assault going Grenadiers, Sap Pioneers, mortar support here, Rifle Grenade off. Excellent hit on the Vickers machine gun. Quick shield wipe there. They're going to steal it away from the Brits. 73 points left there. 4 laser in. There you go, charging Chrome right through. They're going straight for the Panzers. A bit risky, they're a bit risky. Need to get the Suk support though. ODS getting caught bit by the tree there. Oh, Panzers almost being up with artillery fire. There we go, main gun out. He could get this Cromwell. He could get the Cromwell. There'll be a big loss there for laser in. There you go. Oberleutnant Dieter lights in on fire. Shields zerstört. Got double Stooks there though. Cromwelling up. People like to deal with it. Oh dear. Of course, need to get them when they're together. He still needs more infantry, and he also needs to choose a doctrine. There you go, Cromwelling about here. Stooks opening up, misses. Double Stook versus 1 Cromwell. Oh dear. Again, infantry support lacking for the tanks is pretty bad there. Particularly when your opponent actually has Stooks and occasionally knows how to use them. Almost got the Cromwell there, almost got the Cromwell. Another one on the way for laser in. Quickly occupying the centre with the half-track, the infantry and the anti-tank gun. Very good. Sniper still not going for a doctrine. Mines down there, very good, sehr good. More Grenadiers for Sniper. And he finally chooses a doctrine. 37 minutes into the game, Sniper chooses a doctrine. It's Lightning War. He's got the access to 1 Stuka close air support there. 1 burst there of support from the Luftwaffe, and then he's pretty much on his own. March on again. Laserman is clearly expecting the counterattack to happen through the centre. Obviously, and so far, Sniper's blind. No, he doesn't go for it. He's going for relief infantry. Trenches being dark there, but the assault's going on there. Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, Stug. Anti-tank gun has been shifted further back there.
Enemy action has destroyed our forward position.
Charging forwards. Mine goes off. Kills. Suppresses. Sniper though discontinues almost for Germany. More mines going off. More men's lost. Ostrom and ramming Stugs. Machine guns following up here. Oh dear. Laser in there didn't have enough support. They didn't have any machine guns actually. And he's actually now the 1 floating man puppet. He's going for the crocodile. He is going for the crocodile, but will it be enough? And down there, Pioneers are looking to grab the Vickers machine, but they aren't quite being successful. Again, Sniper could have a chance of edging out a victory. Again, the double Stoops is a very potent armoured formation that can, deal with the armour quite well and certainly give Sniper here a fighting chance. Plus relief infantry just behind him, again with some extra cheaper infantry to help hold up things. Trying to talk about the Section 6-pound gun. Sappers hiding up north there, might be slightly forgotten there by laser in. Need to be careful about that. And there you go. He can call in the crocodile. But he isn't so far. Third Stug for Sniper. Again, Sniper knows the name of the game. It's Stug time, baby. I need all of the Sturmgeschütz. All of them. We will stand no chance against this allied tide without it.
Heavy tank reporting.
There we go, Crocodile moving ahead. A rumbling monstrosity of steel and fire. And tea. Earl Grey. The number 1 tea recommended by all pyromaniacs. We got 2 Ostrom squads out here for Sniper. Oh dear, this is going to be tricky here though. Can Sniper do it? This could very well be the make it or break it moment. Whoever wins this one might just win the battle. What's this? We got an Ostrom squad coming up behind. He's disrupting his initial formation, but also spotting out here what Laserman is doing. I mean, that's definitely a way to do it. Just use them as disposable scouts. Up, he's pushing straight for the trench point. That's not working out there. Pushing forward for the Panzerjägers. Need to be careful. Need to be careful. Triple Stooks. Mordfire down the section. Need to be careful with the Panzerjägers. They're already low on health. Need to retreat those Panzerjägers before... Yeah, too late. It could even be them. But there you go. Stooks moving ahead there. Engage the church of their sappers versus that machine gun opening up. Stook number 2 engaging the Cromwell. Quick off a target weak point. Get off a target weak point. Taking hits though from the anti-tankers moving up. Need to fall back with the Stooks. He's going to lose one, I think. The terrain there's not good for them getting both out of there quickly. Mordfire can drain down. Laser End's just applying more pressure in the centre, and Sniper can't quite meet the same amount of mass there. And he actually flanked with some of the Stooks from the north. He probably could have caught him and bed off the better leverage the Stooks against Laser Ren, in particular what with infantry. But instead he just chose to get engaged from here, where it's basically the hardest to defend on these circumstances for Sniper. And again, this is why you have to be careful about getting too focused on this corner of the map. It's really just terrible to defend from under certain circumstances. And particularly when you're relying on a larger number of Stooks, you generally want like to push through for the north here that way, catch the opponent off guard while he launches an attack from here. But instead, he just chose to commit it all to here, basically allowing Laser Ren to just bottle him up there and just turn him to shreds with anti-tank guns and other bits. And he's lost one Stook. He's still got some infantry, but it's going to be pretty tricky there for Sniper. It's going to be pretty tricky. Moving forwards again, he's just completely committed to an head-on assault. Then again, there's the Stuka close air support. If he calls it at the right time, there's a chance it might work off, but still, it's very risky. Very risky, but...
The enemy are at 200 points.
Well, he might as well try it. Because, otherwise, I mean, he's going to lose anyways. There you go again. Sending a north unit from the north against the Osthoben. Might be sending straight for the victory point, actually, though that has been mined off there. Catching a trench unit there. Tanks moving about. The Crocodile not fully repaired. All in there, support, and there you go. Luftwaffe strikes. Two's been caught with the Crocodile machine gun. He retreats the machine gun right away there. Cromwell taking hits from the Kanonen Vogel. 30 guns there, penetrating the thin height. Getting back to the centre big point. He's just falling back towards them. There we go. The Oslo moving towards it still, but they're going to get caught with the tanks. He's linked towards them. How cruel of Sniper. A lot of Mordfire going. He's even raining down artillery on the centre. Anti-tank, they're caught. He's got the centre there. He's got the centre. He's continuing onwards here. He's relentlessly pushing forwards there. Right to the anti-tank and gaining victory 2 on the Stoop, but it's too late. It's going to go down, I think. One anti-tank fire there. Got the half-track. He can't move towards further there. Anti-tank gun down. Quick recruit with the Ostrom turn against the enemy tanks. Stoop moving ahead. Needs to be careful though. We got the other Stoop supporting. Machine gun tanks there about section. Got the anti-tank and he's still not crewing the other one. Stoop's falling back. Section running right past all of this. Need to retreat those guns before they get wiped by the mortar fire. Too low on health. Going for the cough one. 37 points left. Need to get the Stooks repaired. I think he's trying to save up for a Tiger now. That's pretty ambitious considering the circumstances. And those guys, what are you doing, Bat Sniper? 9. Oh my god. He's running at the Stook against the Crocodile. He actually got the Cromwell with it though. Could he get the Crocodile as well? He could. He could. Almost got it. Miss Anti-Tank recruit. They should have recruited himself with the Ostrom turn against the opponent. Now he's got an Ostrom left. Need to retreat everything. Needs to get repaired. 27 points left there for Lazy Ren. Sniper's barely holding on.
25 points left. Nil Vesper random, as they say.
Barely holding on. Pioneer sending out. Mortar getting murdered. Tiger's definitely beyond his reach. He's going for a Panzer IV. You go for Leaf Infantry again, but the question is, can he pull through with it? Do not think so, not in time. He's not getting his Stooks repaired either. He needs to get more Pioneers out. Cromwell rolling out there for Lacey Wren. He's going to roll straight into the base. I think he's going to try and just get the Stoogs. Hold. Aggressive. One Stoog down, one Stoog down. And second Stoog knocked out as well. And with this, I think it's safe to say Sniper is out of the game. I don't think he's got much chance of getting back here. I mean, he did to an extent pretty well in the early game, but again, it seemed to fall apart where some players, towards against the mid to the late game, they sort of struggling at fully utilising doctrines, but also resources. He flowed too much, so pointed again. I think missed vital opportunities to actually sort of seriously push ahead of his opponent. I mean, he just spent some of that manpower earlier on fuel caches faster. Hell, who knows, he could have probably just pushed for Panthers and just, controlled that much more better versus his opponent. Mines could also help him through the centre, machine gun banks. There's a lot of things again that Sniper could have done. Again, earlier on, he was just great. He just kept harassing his opponent's fuel point. I knew, but he didn't get stuck on the centre. That was also very important. But just sort of later into the game, the Sniper for some reason just suffered a bit of a breakdown there. And ultimately, also out to Lacey Wren there, who overall was better able to maintain focus on the rest of the map there, but also just flanking and shifting the weight of the tank. I mean, that's a really important ability. Again, it really just caught Sniper off guard several times. Just allowed Lacey Wren and just break through, deal with sort of weaker counterattack forces, because Sniper would every time it happened send in his forces piecemeal in a very sort of weak and scattered fashion, which made it very easy for Lacey Wren to deal with them. So almost got one of the tanks of the Promise. His infantry's getting murdered here by the Crocodile. Got the Cromwell there with the Panther 4, that's pretty good, but the Pack 40 lights it on fire.
The enemy have knocked out a Cromwell tank.
Desperate last assault ditch attack here by Sniper, but it's just too late. Too little, too late. Artillery fire running down. There we go, that's definitely GG. There you go, Sniper surrenders and game over. Overall, a brutal match here, a lot of back and forth between these two players. Again, good start from Sniper, but mid to late game he basically faltered. Lacey Wren struggled a bit early game, but also to pull through mid to late game, but all just, again, understanding the power, just knowing where to land your attacks, just shift them again. I just kept grinding away at the same spot. Sniper would have stood a much better chance of winning, but because, again, he was able to just shift his attack, they're quickly pushing forward, gaining a lot of ground, and Sniper wasn't ready for it again. She was able to catch him off guard and do a lot of damage that way. I mean, that's, again, why it's important to just shift the approach of your attacks from time to time, so your opponent doesn't get you, relaxed about it, so you can't easily deal with them, because all of a sudden then has to react and attack from elsewhere, and that can throw them off a bit there. So that was really important there for Lacey Wren and allowed him, I think, to sort of long-term pull through. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, and comment on it. If you want a replay, links in the video description. Probably details as to where on the leaderboards and so on there. And of course, there's also links to where you can support me on PayPal or Patreon, which is most appreciated. Every bit helps. This is Imperial Dane signing off, and see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Cheers.